Welcome to week 7 of our The Way of the Fantasy League. That's right, we're changing our name from High Fantasy Football to The Way of the Fantasy League. That's right, we are the Way of the Leaf, Brother Dan and I, and we are putting on a show for you about fantasy football with our friend here, Darren, the senior soothsayer. Yes. We have our predictions for the week. We're going to help you with your fantasy lineups. We're going to remind you to stay safe and socially distance. Wear your masks. Thank you, Matt.
The Oakland offensive line is outside. I needed to make sure I was staying protected.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those guys, you can't. They're like herding cats. Those Oakland offensive linemen. They're all over the motherfucking place. All right, welcome to week 7. What are we going to be doing today? We're going to change our formats up. We're going to be going through the games one by one, and we're going to go through the fantasy implications of the games. We are going to introduce our new weekly polls. That's right. We have a 5-question predictions poll that we've posted up on Twitter, and we are going to show you those in just a bit, let you guys ponder them, and we're going to talk about our answers at the end of the show. So, as we proceed, does anybody have anything to say before we get into the games?
No, except for I love the music, Ryan, and that was a really good intro. It's good to see you, Darren, and I'm ready to get into this week. Week 7, baby.
Awesome. Let's start off real fast. Here is our week 7 Twitter polls. That's right. Let me get this banner off of there. All right. So here is our predictions poll. Here are 5 questions that we want you to head on over to Twitter and answer these questions for us. Who will have more total touchdowns, Ronald Jones or DeAndre Swift? Who will have more passing touchdowns, Matt Ryan or Deshaun Watson? Which quarterback will have more fumbles this week, Daniel Jones or Gardner Minshew? And we have an over-under question. At 4.96 receptions, will Chase Claypool be over that number or under that number? And then we will have which defense will have more sacks? That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what was that?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, that did not get into the screen. But yeah, so those are our questions. Head on over to our Twitter page, which is hashtag WayLeague, hashtag WAYLEAGUE. That is our Twitter handle, WayLeague, for the official Twitter page of the Way of the Fantasy League. What is that symbol you're holding up, my friend?
Hashtag, baby, hashtag.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were summoning a demon. Yeah, so we are fantasy nerds. So when you start doing symbols like that, we start going into lore in our headcanons and we try and figure it out as if everything makes sense because we're fantasy nerds and everything is possible.
We were 2 seconds from burning that witch.
Yes, yeah, seriously. And he's below us too, so we could just kind of like spit fire down upon him. Now, do you have any thoughts about Thursday's game? We had a comeback victory from Philadelphia in the very end. It seemed to be a lost cause for them, but then they pulled out in the end. Carson Wentz seems to be having a mixed year, huh?
Yeah, but he's still getting points. Like, look at the division. Look at who the Eagles play twice a year.
Oh yeah, goodness, yeah.
He's been getting points. Somehow he's getting points.
I like seeing a game in which it shows just how hard it is just to run 88 yards really fast without falling. And so I appreciate getting reminded that it's just hard to run away from people really fast. Sometimes you just fall the 10-yard line.
Yeah, different. You pay millions of dollars a year to fall on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, like what as you see in our question again, we have how many fumbles? We have Daniel Jones or Gardner Minshew. Daniel Jones might just fall on his own and fumble on his own fortitude. That was quite funny. I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he literally was running faster than he could handle. And I've never had that happen before me. Like, I guess there are times when my body parts are doing things I don't want them to do, but I've never had to I've never had that happen. Just running, and like literally your feet are just going faster than your torso can handle. He leaned forward too far. He got too much forward weight and momentum and just went whoop. What was he thinking the moment he's fucking falling? He's like, oh. Do you just like my first thought would be cameras? Like there are just I would know every camera in the stadium. I'd be like, all right, that one got me, that one got me, that one got me, that one got me.
Yeah, wah wah wah. They're everywhere.
At least NFL films will be able to replay that in slow motion over and over and over again for the rest of his career.
Well, that's always gonna haunt him. You're right.
Well, it's kind of like the famous butt fumble from Sanchez. Remember, like that gets played every year. That was what 15 years ago.
He never lived that one down, did he? Hey, my brother Darren, can you get closer to your mic by any chance?
Sure.
Somehow make it a little bit louder. That'd be helpful.
All right.
Yeah. So we just spent 3 minutes on Daniel Jones falling, but I do believe there's fantasy implications. That guy ran almost as fast as Tyreek Hill. He had a run pass option. He took it himself. He saw it himself. He saw the angles and he flew. Now, in the era of the running quarterback and the multi-use quarterbacks, Daniel Jones is going to prove to, I think, be a really viable fantasy option once they start getting some receivers for him and Saquon Barkley gets back.
Yeah. Do we have any idea when that's happening? I don't know what his status is.
Not this year.
Not this year at all. He's out.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
But we got our minions on that. Minions, help us out. We got a question out there. Is Saquon Barkley ever coming back this year? All right. So like we were saying, we are part of a fantasy league. We probably, like you, have several fantasy leagues, but the one we're focusing on is called High Fantasy Football and is populated by Wheel of Time fantasy nerds. Many of them have never played fantasy before, but some of them are quite expert. So hopefully we'll have some of our friends popping into our streams and saying hi. If they do, we'll check out our fantasy teams and we'll give each other advice on who to start and who to sit. But let's start heading in. As I'm talking and almost on cue, we're going to bring in our friend Dean Moxley, who is clearly... All right, Dean. This is great.
Cheers, Dean. Nice to see you.
All right, Dean's getting the solo layout. Dean, break it down. Tell everyone what is happening this year for you.
So I started off the year great with a hard win against DT. Very close game, went down to half a point. Second game, I got donked by What Up Stone Dog, Mr. Never Show Up. Still got a respectable record despite that. I don't understand it.
Crazy.
Then I lost to Joe Sakaranriad, another half-point game, and lost that one. And then after that, I told y'all, what did I tell you? Putting this league in a stranglehold. I ain't losing another week. And that's what's going to happen.
The heat. I'm having a hard time even looking at you. There's so much fire. No, that's true. This week, I have publicly guaranteed a victory against.
I'm coming for you.
No, I swear, I'm telling the world right now, I'm guaranteeing a victory over you, my friend. Guaranteeing a victory. I don't care that you are the top point scorer for the entire league. I don't care that you've been dominating everyone by 50 points a game almost. I don't care. I'm feeling good. I'm full of piss and vinegar, and I'm trying to demonstrate to the world this is how you play fantasy. You don't give a fuck. You go for it. You face adversity in the face. You look it in the eye and you say, all right, yeah, I'm going to Kanye West this bitch. I'm going to, what? You think you got me? I'm going to guarantee a win. And I'll take you to church. Taking you to church.
Preach.
Kanye. All right.
Yeah, Dean.
All right, so now that Darren's back, we let's stop talking about him.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Dean's been doing great. Not only is he the top scorer person in our league, he's the number one in our league, and he's had the most points scored against him,
which is crazy.
In third place. So you've earned everything. I mean, gosh, that belt really blinds my third eye. But Boy,
No. Feel free to hold that the entire time. You've earned
go ahead and
it.
be champion.
But you do know that if I win this week, you have to mail that to me. Ah, you didn't know that? All right, we're going
to a dog.
Wait, say that again, Dean?
So my kids might be a little upset with me. It is my boy's toy.
Okay. Did you steal that? All right, I think everyone should have their own championship belt. For any occasion, you should be able to walk into your lovers with nothing on but a championship belt. I think everyone should try that this week.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. All right, let's get into our first game. We are 10 minutes in our stream. I'm having a great time. First game, Browns at Bengals. We have an over/under of 51 points. And here are a couple key points. Joe Burrow has 300 yards plus over the last 3 of 4 games. T. Higgins, he went for 6 for 125 yards last week. Joe Mixon is out. That's a big point for the Bengals. The Browns equal the number 1 in the NFL with 169.5 rushing yards per game. So they rush for 169 rushing yards per game. So they are the number 1 rushing offense. So we have the number 1 rushing offense versus a fairly middle run defense. Anyways, break it down. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Hunt game, right? This is for all of us, including myself, who had drafted Hunt as the backup, wondering if Chubb would make it through the year. Obviously, this is a huge game. I mean, Hunt's been average over the last couple of weeks, a little disappointing, but the defenses that he was playing against were pretty awesome. So he should have a huge game. I mean, Chubb and Hunt, the first time they played, had four touchdowns combined. That's not too shabby if you're looking to rush. But I think Burrow actually has a pretty good passing game. I mean, what's been holding him down fantasy-wise over the last few weeks is not the amount that he's throwing. It's not the passing yards. It's that he's kind of, I would call it almost flukish that he hasn't gotten more touchdowns. They've just been finding other ways to actually get the touchdown, but he's been playing really well against Cleveland's defense. He should have a pretty good game, as well as the receivers on Cincinnati. So.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas thinks there's going to be a lot of scoring. I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
What do we think about Odell Beckham this game?
I think, we've talked Odell. You guys have a highly slightly opinion on his fantasy potential kind of week out.
Which is proving to be a fruitless point to be making, but
I'd say
go on.
Flipping a coin today, though, he probably can have a bigger role. I think I'm still personally kind of down on him in general, but Austin Hooper, they have some key injuries. So Hooper's out, and they're going to need to rely upon, their top guys. And Odell is one of their top guys. So much as I try to stay away from him, I think he's probably going to have a better than average week.
It's interesting. We have a team that we literally only talk about one receiver there's no relevance for any other Browns receiver besides Odell, right?
Wasn't Landry's still playing with cracked ribs or something?
Broken ribs and hip surgery in the offseason. I put him in the flex position for me twice, and I think both times he got me 10 and a half. So definitely not terrible.
Not terrible. Good floor.
And with the just going back to Hooper, he's out. Tight end, he's been a bigger part of their game over the last few weeks. If you're really, really hurting, or as many people are, for a streaming tight end, I don't know. Njoku could get you a couple of points, get you a floor if they're still going to be using the tight end position again this week.
Yeah, I thought the tight end would be a bigger issue with Cleveland. They've had Njoku. Don't they have another really good tight end who's injured right now? Anyways, moving on. And on the Bengals side, how do we feel about Giovanni Bernard, one of our mustaches of the week.
Ooh.
Yeah, where's the mustache?
Oh, which I mean, boom. It's not hard. Ask and you shall receive. Gio's week 1 mustache of our first honorary member. Gardner Minshew's second honorary mention. And then I will save the next one for last.
Hey, it always comes down to who you got on your team, but I'm looking to play him. He's going to be, he ain't no Mixon, but, he's going to get 10, 12, 15 touches.
Yeah. And it's amazing how you just keep hearing his name over and over again. He's one of those like preeminent backups, right? And you think he's going to lose a step, but I think maybe the backup role is allowing him to keep that speed, keep his burst, because he really has a great burst. He's still quick. He will get chased down in the open field. He doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he is quick as AF.
Well, we also shouldn't discount that this is a battle between two teams to see who is the king of a highly mediocre state.
Yes.
Of Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron left, and this is wide open. Who's going to take over Ohio?
Yeah, I think
Ohio State Buckeyes is the only football team in Ohio that really matters.
Right. Pretty much, yeah, you're right. It is the only team that matters in the entire.
Bye, Baka Crew 0205. Peace out, bros.
Okay.
Come again soon. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Let me just remind the audience, we're here to give you your sit-start advice. If you have any questions about your lineups, let us know. We will discuss and hopefully not make fun of you. All right, so let's move on. I feel like we might have exhausted that game. The weather should be fine. That's not going to be an issue. We have 2 quarterbacks who can possibly go ham or disappoint you horribly. So it's always
before we go off, why don't we quickly talk, just because he had probably his first and only good game of the season last week, AJ Green. Everyone's been looking to, wondering if
good point.
Over the hill, and if he's coming back now. I think people got to temper their expectations. I think it was more flukish, and it was kind of game flow for last week. So if you got other, playing him versus other kind of low end wide receiver 2 flex kind of positions, curious to know who else you're considering, because I'd be looking elsewhere.
Well, actually, I have a different take on AJ Green.
Right.
AJ Green has been getting many, many targets each game, and my analysis is that they finally figured out that he can't stretch the field anymore, so they've been utilizing him in these short passing games, and I think that once that, football is like once something works, they kind of hit it until it doesn't work anymore. My guess is that they've solved the issue with AJ Green. He's too talented to just, fade away. And I think the coaching staff is finally figuring out that he's not able to just break away like he used to. So, I mean, all of his passes were like under 10 yards mostly, which is unusual for him. So that is a decided change, and I'm hoping it's going to continue because I picked him up. I'm running with him. I have good feelings about it.
You're just biased.
That's a good point, though, right?
I'm biased about players on my team, of course. All right, and then Jake D is mentioning Tyler Boyd from the Bengals. Yes. So
he's been consistent. I mean that dude. I have him on a couple of my teams. I love the guy. I mean, he's and he should bounce back a little bit. He was 3rd in targets last week, but he's had a very high floor week in and week out. And I think, Burrow counts on him. I see him possibly being the number 1 receiver this week for the Bengals.
Beautiful. No, I think so too. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's keep those injury updates coming in as you find them. I believe our list is not complete. If you can give me. Do you have any more after Jeff Wilson, or was that it, Darren?
No, that was it. Just,
okay.
For what we've sent before.
All right.
I'm unable to look it up on my phone. Have we gotten any update on Robert Tonyan, tight end at Green Bay?
No, not yet.
I think he's still
Questionable.
I think he's still expected. He's still expected to play. But yeah, right to note the injury.
All
I
right.
swapped him out for Schultz, Dallas. Just because this dude's playing banged up. He's got like 2 or 3 injuries that he's nursing. And he was injured with an ankle last week. He played through it. I mean, I give all the guys that played through injuries all the credit in the world. I just really don't want you on my football team from fantasy if your ankle's injured.
Right.
Yeah, anything from knee down, you don't really want in a game full of running.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if the guy right behind you is just marginally less as good as you are. So if you go out, ow, my ankle, oh, it hurts. Well, then this guy's just going to take your spot. Even if the doctor punctures your lung trying to give you pain medication, that guy's going to take your spot if you can't play. So you're like, no, this knee's fine. Then my ankle, my hips, and my shoulder. It's all good.
I have another knee.
I
It's
got
fine.
2 knees. Yeah. God gave us 2.
Did you guys?
All right.
Did you guys hear that Tenyon came out and he came out with a press release to say that it's not pronounced Tanyan, it's Tenyon.
I did not see that.
Why
Thank
not change
you.
your last name then?
I know.
Canyon.
I don't know what language.
No, it's like all right.
But
It's that mysterious
huh?
E sounding O. So everybody, you're learning things. Robert Tenyon. So Jeff Wilson is expected, and Robert Tenyon is expected. But if anything changes, we'll let you know. We are going to have injury updates leading up to game time. We are your go-to spot for fantasy advice and puppet shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Yep.
Shenanigans. Darren, were you going to say something?
I was just going to note, we'll get to it when we get to the 49ers game.
Ah, yes.
Defense.
Moving right along. I think we're on a good clip. Here we go. Our second game. Packers at Texans, right? We have Aaron Rodgers going against Deshaun Watson. The over-under is 57 points as expected. These are not formidable defenses. Aaron Rodgers was sacked 4 times and was hit a whopping 13 times last game. Is that going to continue? Is J.J. Watt going to rip him in half? Houston is the worst run defense. They averaged 166 yards in the last 3 games. So fire up your Packers running back, and that is going to be a point of discussion. Is Aaron Rodgers in? Is Aaron Rodgers out? If not, we're firing up Jamal Williams. And
Aaron Jones, by the way. Aaron Jones.
Say it again?
Aaron Jones, not Aaron Rodgers.
All right, Aaron Jones. Thanks for correcting me. Houston gave up 4 touchdowns to Ryan Tannehill last year, making you salivate if you have Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's continue the analysis, guys. What else?
I think you're calling Williams. Is
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Our minions.
Well
Jake.
done, Jake. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will amend that. That is huge.
Williams, who's probably on a lot of waiver. I mean, even right now, right before kickoff, I think a number of leagues might have Williams out there if you need a running back.
That is really big news, everyone. That's the biggest news to date so far. Aaron Jones is out. Breaking news.
And that defense has been one of the worst against the run. So the Packers are going to have a lot of yards on the ground, which then opens it up for Aaron Rodgers to have a lot of passing yards. I think that over under is accurate. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored this game.
I think so too.
I think it's game of that's the game of the week for me. For sure. Breaking news. Aaron Jones is out. Is that 2 A's? I did it right. All right. Aaron Jones. Ron is out.
Oh, here we go.
Jamal Williams is in. What is the backup to Jamal Williams? Do we know? Who is the...
Dillon. A.J. Dillon, baby.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
I think
That's why you... Oh, do you have him?
if you're really stretched, you could play him. I think
No, that's what I'm saying. If you're in a 14, 16 team league, everything's deep. There is a very real chance that there's going to be work for both of them. In these situations, you're just predicting so much. You're predicting game flow. You're predicting usage, and there's nothing to go on. So we're truly gambling. But
I'm watching this scroll of who's out right now, and there's some big names on here that are not playing this week. This is a good week to listen to Darren and think about getting that second string quarterback that is going to have more touches today than he will this whole season.
Yeah. You mean running back, right? So yeah, AJ Dillon, Jake D saying AJ Dillon. He picked him up 5 minutes ago. Good job, Jake. Thanks for helping us out. Keep it up. We love it. All right, so we're still talking about our Packers and Texans. Let's look at the Texans side. Now, Daniel Johnson, how are we feeling about him today?
David Johnson?
David Johnson. No one's saying names right today. David Johnson.
Which is funny because, normally you have the conversation between David Johnson and Duke Johnson, right? The Johnson and Johnson brothers here. But
for real? Yes, for reals.
I think David Johnson, look, I've been kind of down on him. He's kind of a normal low-end RB2. Again, depending on what your mix of running backs is on your team, you're probably playing him, especially in deeper leagues. I think he's going to have a better game today. I think the game script for running against Green Bay is there, so I think he could have a decent, middle, maybe high-end RB2 day.
Yeah, I mean, you got it right on. Fantasy Pros, the consensus rankings from Fantasy Pros has David Johnson as the 16th ranked running back this week. So
I
if
think
you're in
what's
16th,
really helpful, because a few weeks ago we had the conversation when Duke Johnson came back, and Duke Johnson was starting to get increased volume, so really making it kind of a committee approach. But that's kind of gone now. So David's your guy.
now that first game back, he looked stellar and he looked quick, but I kind of feel like that was a big kind of fake out. And the subsequent games, he seems to be running in molasses, and I don't think the Houston is getting what they thought they were getting out of him.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know what their expectation was. I don't think they were looking at him as suddenly becoming Derrick Henry or Kamara or something. So I think.
But his running style, what made him great was his, strength and speed. And now he just seems to have strength, but his strength isn't even next level compared to what we're seeing now. It just seems to be kind of middle of the road running back. It's nice to have that change of pace.
A lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I'll fucking beat him in a race. But, I'm a superior athlete. We don't talk about it too much. Dan, were you going to say something?
Was I? No, I was just backing up just what a superior athlete you are.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I don't know how many records you hold, but it's more than I can count, I'm sure.
Yeah. But they're all made of cloth, and I watched them one time, and all my records are gone.
Didn't you win like the tri-state county prize?
Yeah, for knee racing, sack racing. I have so many championships. In third grade, I was a hula hoop champion. We don't talk about that much.
That's a true story.
Yeah. All right, so
Ryan could hoop like a motherfucker.
So basically, you're firing up your Rodgers, you're firing up your Deshaun Watsons. There's not that many debates about who you're starting, unless you're in really deeper leagues, and you're going to be reaching for maybe some deeper wide receivers. But this is going to be a high-scoring game. Fire up your players. These are not defenses to worry about.
I will say that Tannehill quote there, or little act, doesn't necessarily say that Houston's defense is horrible. Ryan Tannehill has kind of fit into the Titans pretty well. Better than I think a lot of people have expected. And last week was exemplary against him, but I don't think that necessarily means like, oh, Ryan Tannehill got 4. That means that Aaron Rodgers is going to get 9 touchdowns. That's just the ratio. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case.
No, that's a good point. Very good point, brother. I'm trying to look up what ranked passing defenses are. I'll get to that. Yeah, but no, these defenses again are not defenses to worry about.
I will say, just on the Texans side of the coin, I mean, look at what's happened, since they fired their coach, right? Like
one game.
It's been two, I think. And I mean.
Oh, you're right.
Watson's he's been a lot more efficient, and they've kind of unleashed him. I mean, we talked, our good friend Alex, who's normally on this show, raised the question before that first game, the new coach, to say, hey, with the new coach, do you think that's going to kind of open up, Watson's, positive side, his play? And we were talking about it couldn't hurt, and I think they have unleashed it. Which, if you're looking at receivers, Brandon Cooks, who was nothing earlier in the year.
Oh yeah,
pretty good games.
Every show this week was hyping Brandon Cooks left and right. Definitely, he was one of the. If he's in your league, obviously pick that guy up for sure. Yeah, we thought there was going to be regression when DeAndre Hopkins left, but it seems that once you allow a quarterback to mentally think about having more than one receiver, it actually helps your game plan. Who knew?
That and you no longer have the toughest defenses that you're playing against. Which first 3 weeks of the season they had 3 really tough matches. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those numbers looked hollow for sure. Even though they were still, Deshaun Watson was still posting numbers. The role players were not. Yeah, definitely getting the numbers.
Even Watson was struggling kind of too. I actually play him in my league, and he was underachieving in these games. But yeah, you're right. I think it is because he was going against some of the tougher defenses in the league, and now it should be. What is it? They have the Cardinals coming up. They have, or not the Cardinals, the Falcons coming up. They have. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but it does get easier for them.
Smooth sailing ahead, yes. All right, moving right along. Let's go to the next matchup. Here we have our beautiful, greatest America's team, the 2020 Dallas Cowboys. Exemplifying all that is America, all that is American in one team is quite amazing. Dallas Cowboys are at the Washington football team. The over-under for this game is 45 points, which is startling to look at those names and think that that's what we're looking at. Because, again, Dallas is the worst defense in the league. And all right, so let's go through the numbers. This is a divisional matchup. We have the football team is the second best passing defense, right? They give up the second fewest passing yards per game. Going up against Andy Dalton, who struggled mightily last year.
The Red Rocket last week he it seemed like he had never played before.
Rifle.
Yeah, I thought I was clever in one of my leagues. I picked it up. Yeah, it's a red dud that you get in a box of fireworks. It's the Piccolo Pete that didn't go off, basically. And then we have the Dallas O-line has only one original starter, which is quite impressive. And Dallas is on a historic run as the worst defense and quite possibly allowing the most points per opponent ever, which I hope this streak continues. How is it going to continue? What are the Washington football team going to do to exploit that defense? Who's going to be getting the numbers for Washington?
Yeah, obviously before it, the guy's matchup proof. He succeeds no matter what.
I like that matchup proof.
I have a hard time unless you are super like a super flex league. You have a 2 QB league. I still, even against Dallas, I don't know, Allen. I think he has definite a floor. Like he's going to get some points. Dallas is horrible, just like you were saying. But I don't know how much you can trust him unless you have a really deep league and you need someone far down on the QB depth chart.
Oh wow! So you're not high on Kyle Allen, huh?
If you're in a one QB league, there's other viable options in front of Allen, even against Dallas, I think.
Kyle Allen is developing slower than I think they want him to. That's for sure. I'm trying to get to where the consensus rankings are for him. But yeah, keep going.
I do think, the running, the football teams, rushing, the running backs, they should have a pretty high floor, I should say. I think both McKissick as well as Gibson against Dallas is a D, and we're just talking about how bad they are in general, but people can run on them to get a little bit more specific. And so I think both have a higher floor this week if you have either one of them.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson is the 16th consensus ranked running back for this week, and McKissick is down here at 38. So the consensus rankings have McKissick as a low end RB3 flex, but definitely
Against Dallas, I'd rank him higher.
You'd rank him higher. Okay, there's a controversial take. So you definitely think McKissick will? Do you say top 20?
When you're looking at that kind of flex, low end RB2, that's kind of the level that I see him at. But again, the running back landscape, a lot of us are playing a low end RB2 flex kind of running back because we have to. I think.
So tell me why are we saying that? Oh, hey, because it's Dallas, we should feel good about this 38th ranked running back, whereas Kyle Allen is going against Dallas, which is historically the worst passing defense in the league, and you're not flexing on Kyle Allen. What is it? Because Kyle Allen is struggling so much? Is he that bad?
Yeah.
Asked and answered. Asked and answered.
I would like to say that I wish that I could feel bad for Dallas right now, but nope. I can't wait for every team to just tee up on Dallas right now. Washington is probably just drooling. Yeah, go Eagles. Yeah. Seriously, it's this team has not only had kind of the talent. I think Jerry Jones has done pretty decently. And their team has had the success that I do not think they are going to have this year. I think the Dak Prescott injury destroyed them based on their shitty defense, and now they lost not only their franchise quarterback, but probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league, in the top 5, I would say for sure.
This year.
Yeah. And so he is. I want Dallas to reap all that devil karma, and just get their ass kicked every week now. I really do.
Me too.
I hope for that every year. Every year,
Yeah.
I want Dallas to go 0-16.
But I don't have that taste in my mouth like I do this year, though. This year, I'm like, yes, do not win another game at all, dumb Jerry Jones, stupid.
What is happening?
The little Dallas hate. I'm sorry, just a little Dallas hate.
All
in
right.
fact, they spring train in Oxnard, California.
Oh,
Which, too far.
fun fact.
Fun
All right, we got a viewer question. Here we go. Matt Ryan or Roethlisberger? Falcons are playing the Lions and Steelers are playing the Titans. First off, Dada Hockey Wizard, thanks for that little factoids about who they're playing. So helpful.
That does help.
All right, what do we think?
Matty Ice, baby, Matty Ice.
I
agree.
wish you were wrong. I love the Lions. I wish you were wrong, but yeah, I don't see it going well for the Lions today.
I mean, look, the Steelers are a slightly more pass-heavy team. They throw 60-65% of the time, but just he doesn't have to count on the volume, right? And again, Matt Ryan against the Lions, that matchup is pretty good. But he has Julio Jones back. He's so much better with Julio Jones. Period.
Yeah, and I would say if you asked me last week this question, I would have instantly said Roethlisberger. Didn't matter who they were playing against, because Matt Ryan, before the coaching change, seemed to be just struggling, and this coaching change unleashed the Ryan-Julio Jones connection again. Matt Ryan was taking more risks to Julio, and Julio was rewarding him. by doing what he does. Yeah, so if you were asking me last week, I'd say Roethlisberger, but it feels like the tide's turning for Matt Ryan, and the matchup can't beat it. Lions are trash.
Well, yeah, their defense are trash, and they had drafted their first draft pick was Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback slot. He is 116th out of 116 based on his performance right now. So, while Darius Slay is off being a stud elsewhere, and all these, we have regressed. The Lions have regressed as far as their defensive back situation, and that only helps anyone who has Matt Ryan right now.
Thanks for Darius Slay.
Yeah, really. Oh yeah, for real. Slay,
so the Lions
stepping up big time,
bad. The Lions are bad this year. The Lions have been bad for the last 10 years.
Keep going.
And if the rumor
15, 20.
something like that. If the rumor mill is to be believed, the Falcons are shopping Julio Jones. So they're going to want his trade value to go up. I would expect to see Matt Ryan continue to throw to him, even when he doesn't have a chance.
Well, this game seems to be on the line whether Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn keep their jobs with the Lions as the coach and general manager. This kind of is a make or break game. They beat the Jaguars last week, which isn't that impressive if we're being honest.
Nope.
But this is the matchup in Atlanta where the Lions aren't really expected to win, but better come out if Patricia wants to keep his job. So I do. Oh, here's another little fact: is that there has been talk of maybe Matthew Stafford, getting traded to Dallas, and there were. I don't know how serious those talks were.
Whoa, that'd be crazy! As like an emergency, like shit. Andy Dalton's like can't think straight.
Yep.
Okay.
And the Lions are on an eternal rebuild. Okay, throw some draft picks their way, and maybe we can get this stud quarterback. So we might see the same thing, that same Julio Jones dynamic then might be with Stafford, and they might be trying to, I don't know, up his value to get better trade.
Oh, I love these conspiracy theories.
Stafford has been, will he or won't he, since like my sophomore year of high school. Is he going to be good? Is he not? And he's been fucking underwhelming. He had, 2 good seasons back in like 2011, 2012, something like that?
His numbers are there every year. His numbers are not bad every year. He's top 10, top 12 every year. So it's hard to say I want to throw out the 11th best quarterback in the world on a gamble per se, especially when we've had like Orlovsky as the backup and Kitna and shit like that. And we passed up on Tua Tagovailoa.
Ooh, rough for this week.
Yeah, we passed him up as a backup because we threw all our cards into Stafford's corner. So, anyways, we can get off Stafford, but I think that Matt Ryan has a pretty good chance of lighting up the secondary.
I know. Just to end on Stafford and Detroit, I mean, it does show you that in fantasy football, the value of volume, because I don't think the talent is necessarily there, but the value of volume, and that's what Stafford has kind of rested his career on in fantasy football, is volume.
Yeah, Matthew Stat Padford. I've heard that. All right, so yeah, Sarah Curley really comes in and has Dallas become the new Browns, which is amazing. Yes, they have.
Well, the Browns, yes, are America's team now. Baker Mayfield is Atlas with America. Come on, guys, I'm on back. And
and if you crack open that Atlas, it's just a whole bunch of like television deals and commercial contracts.
Right.
I do love his line of commercials.
They are stellar.
Big Mayfield, fantastic.
Yeah, right. At home at the Mayfields or something.
All right, so let's start chugging along. We are at 45 minutes into our show, and we only got 3 games in, and we have about 9 more to go. So we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. Our next game is the Bills at the Jets. The over-under is a low 46.5 points. Key points are the Jets have stopped trying and are just trading away players. We have a 37-year-old Frank Gore leading the Jets backfield. The Jets average 1 offensive touchdown per game this year. Think about that. They average 1 offensive touchdown a game. It is abysmal, embarrassing.
It's always Crowder, and I think Crowder's out, right?
Yes. No. Let's not speculate. If we can find that out, that'd be great.
No, he's out.
And then the Bills have the 25th ranked defense against the run. So we have we have a really bad run defense for the Bills. Is Frank Gore going to be relevant today?
He's always there for 12 touches, right?
Well, it might be even more today. He's the lead.
That doesn't mean that he's relevant, but he does get it 12 to 15 times touches.
All right, so yes, the consensus rankings have Frank Gore at 35. So what's that?
Ryan. Is he on the
list? Ryan, LaMichael P. Ryan is ranked 39. So no one is feeling good about the Jets today. Again, they average 1 offensive touchdown a game. So if they get 2 touchdowns today, they would be playing above average. But we are against the Bills, and the Bills are not a below average team. They are easily an above average defense, except the run is a little sloppy. Anyways, not much to really say. You're not playing any Jets, I don't believe, at all. If you were one of the lucky ones who pick up the Bills defense, I tried. I put my top priority waiver wire on it, and I missed out. You are playing your Bills defense. Here we go. Dada Hockey Wizard says, do you think the Jets being bad is helping George R. R. Martin stay focused on writing the wins of winter? Half his blogs are about how bad the Jets are. Dada Hockey Wizard, thank you. I think you have an amazing point. I think you are correct. Maybe we will get that before I go into menopause. Do we have any more points to say about? I needed to get my face in for that stupid joke. Do we have anything more to say about the Bills at the Jets? Fire up your Bills, basically, right?
Yeah, start all the Bills.
Yeah, just go to town, feast. This is the buffet. We're at Sizzler, all you can eat, and I hope you guys bring some antacids. Let's move on to the next game. The next game is Lions at Falcons. The over/under is 55 points. Key points. We have DeAndre Swift. He rushed 14 times for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. I'm sure there was a rush to get him. If he is available in your league, please grab him right now. That's a lock by Ryan. Next point. Is the Matt Ryan, Julio Jones connection back? We had 2 touchdowns and 137 yards last week. It feels like we are thinking he is back. Atlanta is the second worst passing defense, so Matt Stafford might be able to do some little Stat Patford, whatever. Anyways, they give up 335 yards per game, and Atlanta is the 5th best run defense, and Detroit is the 4th worst run defense. What do these numbers tell us, guys?
Well, I was going to say, I pushed back on your Swift lock, because again, I'd highlight that last point you just made. I think, look, is he going to have an okay day? I think Swift's going to have an okay day, but he's still splitting time with Adrian Peterson. I do think it was, kind of flukish last week. He's definitely part of the game plan, but I don't know. It would not surprise me after everyone went complete shit over, picking up Swift and thinking he's going to just take over the backfield for the rest of the year. I think this could be one of those disappointing games.
All right. I think the consensus expert rankings have him at 17, so they're telling you to eat a fat one. They think he is
Adrian Peterson in there.
They have Adrian Peterson. going down to number 28. So they believe the shifting of the guard has happened. Adrian Peterson is going to be a goal line back who's designed to just run and fall forward. They think so, but we're going to have to monitor that. These are hot takes. Darren is disagreeing once again with the expert rankings, but he is our senior soothsayer. He's not just a fantasy expert. He is seeing the future.
I will say, so I found this recording here from last week in the Atlanta
in the annals in the annals
huddle. It was Matt Ryan talking to all of his players. So let's take a quick listen here.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hey, let's huddle up, everyone. This is Grandpa Ice and Julio. Thank you for coming back. I will throw 2 touchdowns to you today. Calvin Ridley, I will throw you one, and even Hayden Hurst in garbage time, I will throw you a touchdown as well. When we play next week in Detroit, I will do it all again. Don't get let up.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! Breaking.
I don't even care about what we just learned. Matt Ryan has got COVID. He can't talk right. Everyone, this is astounding. Matt Ryan's voice is an old grandpa.
I also love that it was pressed on vinyl.
By our new sponsor for this show, weeklyquarterbackhuddlequotes.com.
I love that. Beautiful. A new segment.
So hold on. Is every weekly quote pressed on vinyl like that?
Yes.
Yes.
And you're able to spin it on your finger and have the air needle play. That's amazing. God,
Yeah.
Technology is kicking my ass right now. It's so great.
I'm so excited for what that brings to the show. So Matt Ryan told his team, Matt Ryan himself predicts 2 touchdowns to Julio Jones, 1 touchdown to Calvin Ridley, and 1 other touchdown to Hayden Hurst in garbage time. Am I accurate?
Wow. So
all right.
4 throwing touchdowns by Matt Ryan today. I appreciate that.
Just like
beautiful. All right, so we are moving on. The next game, Panthers at Saints. The over-under is 50.5 points. Not the highest, but not the lowest. The Saints are coming off of a bye, so they should be well rested, and everyone should be getting along great. There should be no problems in the locker room. Not the truth. Michael Thomas is turning out to be a pill, a PILL. Rumors are that they're shopping him around. But he will not be available either way for disciplinary reasons or what have you because he has a little hammy. Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders are both out. That is not boding well for our friend Drew Brees. Carolina is the 7th best pass defense. The Saints are the 6th best run defense. And the Saints, let me move this out of the way. Hold on. And the Saints allow an average of 3 passing touchdowns a game. So, those are the facts. Let's get into the numbers. Say it again?
On average, 3 passing touchdowns a game. That's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. So we have, let's get into the numbers. A lot of backups playing, a lot of injuries. Darren, help us out.
I think it bodes well for Robbie Anderson to have kind of a bounce back game. He had kind of an average game, but last week they played the Bears, one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. So I think Robbie Anderson gets back to having a really good week. I think Moore had a really good week last week. He had a long touchdown. I'm a little more concerned with his volume this week. One, I think they're going to go back to Robbie Anderson, but I think Moore lined up against a cornerback that's pretty strong. So I generally think Panthers are going to have success through the air, but we'll see who it actually goes to. Dave Davis gets his huge share out of the backfield, so he's an obvious start. I think one stat that you didn't include here, but it's kind of the flip opposite of the 7th best pass defense. with Carolina is how horrible they are against the run. So obviously this is going to be a huge tomorrow game. I think if you have Latavius Murray, as his backup, I think he has value this week in being played. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Murray, as RB2 for the Saints, has 10 rushes. So if you're looking for some kind of floor, I think Murray might be a start if you really need that. If you really need someone that far down.
That's a really good point. Because with these two receivers out, and we all know Drew Brees has had dozens of receivers to throw to in his time in the league. He knows how to hit targets, but he certainly does feel familiar with certain characters. And I think that Emmanuel Sanders is one that he was really starting to bond with, or as far as connecting with game-wise. So it's that's certainly going to enhance the aspect of the run game if he's not feeling as comfortable with the receivers he has around him. But Drew Brees does know how to hit receivers. You just throw any random guy in there and say, run a slant route, and he'll hit you.
Yeah.
All right, let's real quick, let's shift gears and respect our audience. Robbie Anderson is asking Jamal.
Hi, Robbie.
Jamal Adams, Jamal Williams or Robbie Anderson? This is great.
Full
PPR. It is a full PPR. He says full PPR.
I'm going with Robbie Anderson on a full PPR. Look, Williams is going to have a good day, I think. Full PPR, man. Robbie Anderson's averaging, I think, nearly. I know he's at least double digits in targets.
He's a targets leader, correct? Of the league?
And his efficiency's been there. He catches most of those targets. Not all of them, obviously, but he's been catching a lot. So I think
he is a revelation. They definitely learned how to use him. He used to just run straight and hope for the best, but now he is running an incredible all the routes basically. They've opened him up to short and mids, and he is paying dividends. He's so tall and lanky. You think every time he's going to get tackled, something's going to break. Doesn't happen yet. But yeah, I agree. I'm going with Robbie Anderson. What say you, Dan?
I would agree with Robbie Anderson as well. He's had a better year than a lot of people have thought. Jamal Williams is the stud, but with PPR, I would pick Robbie Anderson. All
right, you agree? All right, thank you so much, Darren Hopkins. Please give us a like and subscribe, and come back again. All right.
Come on, baby.
Come on.
Last thing on the game is, and I hate to say it, but I'm doing it in one of my leagues, is playing Jared Cook, tight end for the Saints. He doesn't normally get a lot of volume, but I think with Thomas and Sanders out, I think he's going to see some increased volume. And he's had a decent amount of touchdowns. But I'm praying he has a good game, but the situation is there for him to have a good game.
What's the name of your god? I'm sorry. Go.
Now, I am having a sneaking feeling that this might be a Taysom Hill breakout game. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Looking at the situation, how are they going to move that ball? Breeze has historically struggled without Michael Thomas. He started getting something going with Emmanuel Sanders. That's struggling. He has one guy, I can't remember his name right now. Help me out, Darren. Who's that?
Jack.
Anyway, so yeah, he has basically one rookie wide receiver who's doing great, and that's about it. So I'm predicting Taysom Hill is going to be highlighted, and I'm going to give him at least one rushing touchdown, and maybe I'm going to say one passing touchdown. Taysom Hill. All right.
Bull call.
Thank you. All right. I am full of hubris. All right, so we got a discussion going on about Drew Brees in the chat. Jake D says Drew Brees doesn't throw the ball over 20 yards anymore. He dumps it off. He's getting old. And then Sarah Curlery says, so true, Jake, but you wouldn't know it a few weeks back when he jumped over this opposition for a touchdown. Yes, Drew Brees is full of piss and vinegar, but who knows? Maybe he needed to be in traction after that. We don't know what goes on in the locker room and the nurse's office. Anyways, yes, we all agree Drew Brees is kind of sad to watch. All right. Let's move on. Anything else with the Panthers Saints game? All right. Are you playing Drew Brees if you have him?
I'm not.
Actually, Darren, how do you feel about that over/under?
Yeah.
Right
feeling
around there.
Over.
I mean, okay. I mean, as of right now, I would say probably I would if I had to flip a coin, I'd go under.
Yeah, I would go under too. Myself, I don't think I'm saying I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of scoring. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a good game for the Saints. Can't think of anybody else for the Saints. I think the Panthers, Mike Davis might be able to get shut down by the Saints. It all depends on if who gets the early lead. Mike Davis is doing great, but if they have to pass a lot, I think that is obviously in the Saints' favor. All right, so we're going to move on.
Yep.
We're at our halfway point. We don't have time to take a break. We're just going to keep plowing through. Is everyone doing great? If you guys need to just leave like I did earlier, get some coffee. Boop. Get your whatever you need. Get your smoke on. Get your piss on. It's all good. We're moving on to the next matchup, which is Steelers at Titans. My second most anticipated game of the week. Steelers at Titans. The over/under is 50.5 points, which is the same as our last game. Here's some key facts. Ryan Tannehill is having an amazing year. He has 13 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. We have Corey Davis back for the Titans. What is he going to bring to the mix? Pittsburgh equals the second best rushing defense, and the Tennessee is the second best defense as a whole. And Pittsburgh is the fourth best defense in terms of overall scoring. So this is a defensive matchup, but yet we still have 50.5 points expected to be scored. We just got to figure out where that scoring is coming from, guys.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, tell us,
Derrick
dude.
Henry is going to shred Pittsburgh's defense this week. He's going to get me at least one touchdown, and he'll probably hit about 70, 80 yards.
Okay, so that's your lock. Derrick Henry, 70, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. I'll give him a touchdown, and I think those numbers actually sound fine. I'm happy you didn't give him over 100. I was going to argue if he went over 100 yards.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think any one individual is rushing for 100 yards in this game, unless someone gets a ridiculous run and hopefully they don't stumble at the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Keep that head up. Keep that head up. Don't run forward. Head up. Yes. All right. So, what say you, Darren?
I'm taking the under on this. I think Pittsburgh's defense is just way too strong. I don't think any running back has had more than, I think it's 63 yards in any game this season against Pittsburgh's rushing defense. I mean, obviously you're starting Henry. I mean, that's not a question, but I don't think it's going to be his best game. I think he'll obviously get you a number of points, but I temper my expectations a little bit on that. I think if there's anything that is slightly worse for the Steelers' defense, it's their pass defense. And so I think there will be some success against the Steelers' pass defense. So I think, Tannehill has a decent game. Again, overall, they're still strong, but I think it's going to be through the air that they get a little bit of traction.
And do you think, and I believe they might be playing from behind. And I think they might be forced to throw a little bit. Although I don't like to predict game flow and game script, but that's kind of where I think it's going to go. I think Steelers are going to take the lead, and we're going to be seeing some maybe catch-up time production to the wide receivers. I don't think this is going to be a huge Derrick Henry game. Although you are right, the consensus rankings have Derrick Henry as the second highest ranked running back this week, so we might be talking in the wind. All right.
Even if it said that he was 20, or 24, you're starting Henry. I think you just temper your expectations. That's all.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's a start every week, regardless. If he could be going up against brick walls, and you go, well, he'll probably get me a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's done it for me this year.
I say, if Corey Davis is available in your league, please go pick him up. He's an excellent wide receiver. He's had injuries, but I believe he's going to have a great rest of the year. I have him in my league. Start him with confidence.
And he's a Virgo. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
And he's a Virgo. All right. So, any other factoids, thoughts about this matchup?
I do not.
You do not. All right. We are going to. All right. I found it. Corey Davis is the 55th ranked wide receiver. So, maybe the experts do not agree with me about Corey Davis, but I'm feeling good about him this week. Moving on, I'm trying to be transparent with how we fare against the experts. Moving on, the next matchup is Tampa Bay at the Raiders. This matchup has an over-under of 52.5 points, right around the middle. Carr is completing a whopping 73.1% of his passes. He has 11 touchdowns to 1 interception. That's crazy. He has 2+ touchdowns in the last 4 games. Tampa Bay allows an average of 1.2 passing touchdowns a game. Oh, look how he did that. Put those stats, smash them together so you can consider them. Raiders are the 6th worst defense, allowing 30.4 points per game. So we have an impressive Tampa Bay defense going up against a hot Raiders. What do you think about the Buccaneers going into Las Vegas?
Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, do we know there aren't any new positive COVID tests, right, from the Raiders? They're all playing, right?
Not that I know of. Yes, I mean.
All right. I picked up Carr on waivers in one of my leagues. I'm not going to start him now. I just think he's been pretty good. He's been pretty effective, but they haven't even practiced this week because of the whole COVID thing on their offensive line, So, again, I'm tempering my expectations there. If you have Waller, he's certainly going to get his volume. Jacobs, he's certainly going to get his volume. But, efficiency, Tampa Bay's defense is just so strong. So, I'm not looking to start any Raiders unless I have to. Tampa Bay, I'm really curious about Ronald Jones because he's just been on fire. But Fournette's back. Is he gonna start seeing a share of the touches? I'm still starting Jones likely unless I really have a strong RB bench. But we'll see what Fournette's impact is on his numbers.
Yes, I'm excited for what Fournette brings. I think Fournette is flying under the radar. Obviously, he's been injured, and everyone is really high on Ronald Jones. But Leonard, you can't deny what Leonard Fournette brings to the mix-up, and there is a good chance that Leonard Fournette at least turns into the goal line back, which is going to be a productive role in a high-flying offense like Tampa Bay. So, but he's more than just a goal line back. So, yeah, it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. But I do believe he will get the goal line work, and I do believe he will outscore Ronald Jones today in fantasy, but not have as many touches or yards.
Bold call.
Bold. I'm into it.
Hey, can we tap into the tight end whisperer and to see what Gronk's going to do this week?
Oh, yeah. Well, I am the tight end whisperer. Let's talk about it. Solo layout. Nope, that's not wrong person. Yes, I do believe that Rob Gronkowski is going to improve on his last week's performance, get another touchdown this week, and have more yards. I do believe that Rob Gronkowski is back, and they're trying to publicly prove Bruce Arians wrong, and I think it's great. And one of the things I think that Brady is doing is he is very much winning in the power imbalance between Tampa Bay. Bruce Arians was not into Antonio Brown, who gets them? Tampa Bay gets him. Bruce Arians was not into getting Rob Gronkowski into the passing game. He was saying things like, yeah, we have tight ends for blocking, blah, blah, blah. And now it seems like Brady's like, oh, yeah? We have the second most touchdowns for a quarterback and a receiver combo next to Jerry Rice. We are the second most. We have 89, I think, receiving touchdowns between us. You're going to tell us to block? BS, and he is force-feeding the ball to Rob Gronkowski, so I do believe Rob is going to continue his success. Thank you, Tight End Whisperer. All right, we are moving on. We are at 70 minutes into our broadcast. This is great. We're having a great time. The next matchup to discuss is the 49ers at Patriots. Right, we have an over-under of 45 points. That might be the lowest in the week. Now, we have Garoppolo returning with a strong game last week. He had 3 touchdowns and 268 yards after being benched for what was one of the worst performances I've seen. It's good to see him back. We still have Raheem Mostert out, which is a big loss, but the 49ers do have depth at the running back position. Cam Newton struggled last game with 3 turnovers. And New England and San Francisco have the 10th and 11th best defenses of the year. So there are going to be turnovers. There's going to be not a lot of scoring this game. Let's get into the numbers, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm surprised that the over-under is 45 points. I agree with you. I think it's going to be under. I think it's going to be more of a defensive battle. I think, the running game normally for the 49ers is so strong. I mean, they pound it. They use the committee. So, I mean, I think McKinnon's going to get his. It says Jeff Wilson is expected to play.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it will be a share, but the Patriots D against the run is like
there. Yeah.
You got to play. If you got to play someone, those are the two. I was really hoping, not for his sake, of course, but I was hoping that Wilson was going to be out so that we could talk Jamichael Tasty. I'm not sure if it's Jamichael or is the M in his name is capitalized. Is it Jamichael?
Jamaica, or Jamichael. Yeah, you're right. It's great. It's one of the greatest names.
But if Wilson's in, it's the McKinnon-Wilson show.
All right. Now the consensus rankings from Fantasy Pros. The experts have Cam Newton as the number 10 quarterback this week, wedged between Justin Herbert and Ben Roethlisberger. What do you think about that ranking for having him 10th?
I think that's a little bold, personally. Cam Newton has always had that potential to explode any given game. But I do think that the 49ers have a pretty stout line there that may prevent some of his scrambles to occur. And that's where Cam Newton's kind of strength is in a broken play actually ending up 10 or 15 yards down the field. He's able to read things, and if he needs to scramble, he can scramble. I'm thinking that 49ers are going to contain that quite a bit, though.
Yeah, our linebackers are fast, and I say our because I am a Niners fan. I don't have any memorabilia out because I'm a normal human being, but I love the Niners, and so I'm going to say we. So, yeah, we have an amazing defense, and they were flying around last week, and it looked great. It looked like they're a return to form. We've had issues with the cornerbacks, which is where we've been exploited, and injuries in the cornerback position, especially Richard Sherman being out, has really affected us, but we are coming back into form with our injuries, and I think it's going to be, I don't believe we're going to be scoring 45 points total. I think it's going to be a field goal battle. Fire up your field goal kickers. All right.
You're a Niners fan?
I am a Niners fan, yes.
Okay, now I have to take Jared McKinnon off my bench to plug him in for Melvin Gordon.
All right, go for it.
Against your team.
No, please do. And also, your mic is all jacked up right now. I don't know what happened. I can't really hear you. It's very different than before. But please. Yeah, fire up your Niners against me. I'm so ruthless, and I'm so wanting to defeat you that I'm willing to root against my own team to win in fantasy, and maybe we could talk about that That is one of those weird things about fantasy is when you have to root against your own, lifelong team. Do you make decisions based on your fantasy versus real life fandom, or are you a cold-hearted numbers guy, Darren?
I normally stick with the numbers, but it's hard.
Okay.
If I really am flipping a coin, it does go into the equation, but I usually stick with the numbers and pray for the best.
Brother Dan, how about you?
I actually this week changed my defense because it was going up against my quarterback. And so I did not. I said, well, I'm rooting against this defense. Hopefully they're not going to do well. And so I put in a different defense.
That's funny. I've done that. Dean, when you're making fantasy decisions and you are a fan of a team, does that affect your fantasy choices at all? Or are you a cold hard numbers guy?
I'd say if it's obvious, it doesn't bear any weight. However, if it's a coin flip, I'll go with the hometown guy. I put Travis Fulgham in the flex last week and this week, and he did well for me both weeks. So
Okay.
Birds. But if it's obvious, then I'm not gonna bench a better player just to put someone who I'm rooting for in.
All right, and I agree with that assessment also. I think we're all on the same page that if you have a team that you're a fanatic for and you have a coin flip decision, I also tend to go with the person on my team. I might even go a little bit more than a coin flip just for that fun of watching my player on my team do what I hope they're going to do. I get a double little double fun for that, but I'm not. This week, though, against Dean, I am not going to be emotional. I'm going to go cold, hard numbers. And before the end of this show, Dean, we're going to look at our matchup, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to beat you.
But one more thing on that. How much fun is it when you have that nuanced kind of equation here where you're hoping your team wins, but maybe because of the matchup, you hope that it's a high-scoring affair and that if they're going to score, then you hope it's that one wide receiver, but not the other wide receiver, and kind of doing that calculation. That's always kind of fun, right?
No, you're right. Let's put a pin in that real quick, and let's answer this question and get back to that discussion.
Good to see you again.
Big Smokey. I'm a bit torn between if I should play Johnny Smith versus Pittsburgh or Hayden Hurst versus Detroit. What are your boys' thoughts?
Johnny Smith is a stud. I know it's against Pittsburgh. Johnny Smith is a stud, and
he is,
and they funnel volume through him. So I'd have a hard time playing Hurst over Smith. I'd play Jonnu.
So you're just volume alone, correct?
I just think his efficiency. He's a key part of their attack, and he is just a stud. Period. And again, I'm a Steelers fan. Their defense is amazing. I'm still picking Jonnu.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
How about you? I agree. We in consensus. Johnny Smith. Lock it. I
think either option is probably not bad. I think Detroit's going to give up some yards as well to her. So,
I mean,
either one you're probably fine, but I would say Johnny Smith probably as well.
Well, I mean, we had Matt Ryan on record, literally on vinyl, telling us that he's going to get him a garbage time touchdown. Remember, the Matt Ryan stated prediction, 2 for Julio, 1 for Ridley, 1 for Hurst. In the end, garbage time.
Ridley, I'll get you one too. And I'll do one for you, Hurst, as well. Was it something like that? Wasn't that what his voice was?
Grandpa Ice, baby. Grandpa Ice.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's move on. We got a lot. We got 4 more games to get through, and we got to get through our weekly, actually, let me real quick. I'm going to blast up again. This is our Twitter poll. Yes, please go to our Twitter. It is our Twitter. I should have put it up on this graphic. Our Twitter is @WayLeague. @WayLeague. If I can figure out how to fix that and change it to something cooler, I will. Right now it's @WayLeague, or you can look us up at The Way of the Fantasy League on Twitter. Please go in there and answer our Twitter poll for the week. Questions are, who will have more total yards, Ronald Jones or DeAndre Swift? Who will have more passing touchdowns, Matt Ryan or Deshaun Watson? Which quarterback will have more fumbles this week, Daniel Jones or Gardner Minshew? Over-under, 4.9.8 per receptions for Chase Claypool. And which defense will have more sacks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Steelers? All right. That is our Twitter poll for the week. At the end of our show, we are going to answer that ourselves, and we are going to compare our answers with you, and we're going to do this weekly. Yay! All right, moving on. Woo! Chiefs versus Broncos. I just want to point out, I did mention that the Chiefs are having, I said 2 weeks ago, are the Chiefs getting figured out? And I feel like I might be correct. Look at this, over under 44 points. Even though it's in a blizzard, you still would think the Chiefs would be scoring 44 points on their own with their eyes closed. But no, the Chiefs are coming down to earth. We have Chiefs at Broncos. The over-under is 44 points. Snow is in the forecast. It is snowing, guys. It's fun to have a snow day. Philip Lindsay or Melvin Gordon, they are sharing Denver's backfield. We will discuss what does that mean. Will Le'Veon Bell cut into Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's workload? The law firm of Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. Will they slowly add Bell into the mix, or will they dump him in early? What's going to happen today? And will the weather affect those Chiefs' speedy receivers? It looks like the consensus, the Vegas experts think it will. Let's get into it. What's behind these numbers, guys?
I think
that's a low total. That's a low over under. Probably the lowest we've seen, right?
Yep. Patrick Mahomes is the consensus third top ranked quarterback for the week.
I would lean over in general, even with the snow, even with the elements and all that. I think that the receiving game is certainly going to be diminished somewhat based on the elements. Obviously, when you have snow in the air, it's hard to catch a ball. Your hands hurt and all this stuff.
But I mean, I always question that because I still remember back in the day, Randy Moss and Tom Brady in the snow game, 5 touchdowns. He was slinging that freaking ball all over the field. Randy Moss was catching one-handed passes in the snow for touchdowns, making it look easy. So it could actually be more of a hindrance on the defense than the offense at times, because the offense knows where they're going, defense doesn't. Sometimes weather can actually hinder the defense more. I think we're going over on this. Do you want to fight about it?
No, I was on your side, except for I'll fight about your example of the Patriots breaking the mold, because the Patriots probably cheated. They probably had underinflated balls and sticky hands and stuff. Come on.
Yeah, like some sort of like magnet.
Yeah.
Randy Moss's gloves had like a GPS.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that.
All right, here we go. All right, pick 2. Gio, McKinnon, Justin Jackson, or Brandon Cooks. We got a PPR and for 1 and RB2, 1 for flex. All right, so we need a pick 2. Interesting. I am a fan of Brandon Cooks this matchup, and I am a fan of McKinnon this matchup. Wait, no, not McKinnon. McKinnon. Sorry, yeah, I'm a fan of McKinnon and Cooks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to differ. I'm going with Bernard and Justin Jackson. I just think they're going to get more volume, and the situation's better this week.
All right, heated.
Which means our advice is not helpful at all, because we completely differ.
No. Wait, we have tiebreakers. Brother Dan, who do you have?
All right.
I would say Gio and Cooks, baby. So I don't know. I think I'm giving one to each.
I
think Cooks is going to have a great season. Great season.
Great
Great game today. Great game.
All right, Dean, what do you think? Who would you play in these of these 4?
So I think I'm with you on this one. I go Brandon Cooks and Jarrett McKinnon. McKinnon's going to be a question mark. I think either he'll get, especially in PPR, he'll probably put up either 12 or maybe get you 1.5. I'd go with him anyway.
Tiebreak? Got a tiebreak.
All right. Well, TS. Basically what we just demonstrated is just how hard it is these decisions weekly. You got a tough one ahead of you. Good luck.
Darren was the only one who picks Justin Jackson, so that's probably the right one, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, you can see, just look at us and see who you trust the most, and then go with that. Judge me harshly for who I am. No, all right. So no, that's fun. Those are great questions. Keep them coming.
Speaking of game versus season, let's talk Le'Veon Bell, because I think this game, I don't see him, taking over anything. I think they'll sprinkle him in, start getting him going. But here's my question. Moving forward, I think the general answer you hear from almost anyone is CEH is still going to be the top dog, still going to get most of the work. Maybe Le'Veon Bell becomes, just give him a rest every once in a while. He gets 6 to 8 touches. Maybe he becomes the goal line back, right? Those are kind of the general questions. I'm wondering, is it even remotely possible that Bell demonstrates, like he did with the Steelers, that he can be the bell cow back? And I ask that, Andy Reid, he likes to have multiple running back, right, for kind of various roles.
Oh, yeah.
But the situation that Bell came into, going to the Jets, I mean, no one is going to succeed there. So with a better offense, better line, does he actually have the ability to really take a more significant chunk of work away from CEH going forward? Probably not this week, but going forward. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I actually I think that Andy Reid typically does not trust rookie running backs, and he would rather have Bell in there more. And I think there's a historical precedence to that. I should have done my research, but my memory shows this, that he prefers veterans over rookies, and he's more likely to develop the rookie slower. I think we've seen 2 good games with Clyde Edward, and people are getting very excited by what we saw, and I am too, but there's a reason why he faded in, weeks 2 through 5. So I think that they know something. There's a reason they got Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell is absolutely amazing, and he can catch, he can run, and he is a true difference maker. Top 3 running back in the league if he can return to form. So yeah, I think he would take over instantly once he's healthy and knows the offense. That's my take.
Well, if I can mention, Le'Veon Bell last week didn't address the media after the game. He wouldn't, and he seemed to be upset with the number of touches that he had.
Last week or last year?
Last week.
Last week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he wouldn't address the media after the game. Was upset about and I think even did a tweet about touches, perhaps.
Strong, brother. Stay strong.
Thanks, thanks, Badger, and what's that other guy's name? Damn it. Badger and Creaker or something. I don't know.
Football is war.
So I lost my train of thought. But it was something about so Le'Veon Bell does not seem happy, not only with the situation, but is kind of being a grump in general, which doesn't bode well as far as like coaching wise. There's 2 ways to approach that in coaching: either solve the problem by addressing it and feeding him the ball more, or saying to hell with you. If you're going to be a dick, be a dick. And I'm not sure what Andy Reid is right now.
Yeah, these are all good points. We don't know.
Wasn't he just activated last week, though? I mean,
I know. I'm a little confused about what you're saying. He wasn't available to play last week, Dan.
Was it the week before that, or who was it? No, there was. Okay. I may have been. I thought I was thinking of Le'Veon Bell. I may have been thinking of someone else, but I thought it was Bell that Anyways.
No, this is the first. Yeah, so this is the first week that Bell's available. That's why he's kind of like, you're like, oh, what are we gonna see from him? But no. Hey, good. Those are good points. So there's always like when we have a player that acts up and uses the media to solve grievances. How does it affect the play? We had Leonard Fournette criticize Brady, and all of a sudden the next game he got like 2 touches. And then he got injured, so it looked like, like he got in the doghouse for saying something public. We're going to move on. We have 30 minutes left before game time, and we have 3 more games to get through. And then we're going to get to our league awards, and we're going to talk about the top 5 poll questions. So we are on to the last 3 games. Jaguars at Chargers. We have an over-under of 49.5 points. All right. Another lower scoring game. The Jaguars are bottom 10th in both pass and run defense. All right. Minshew, he has at least 1 interception in 4 out of the last 5 games. Justin Herbert, quarterback for Chargers, has 7 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 2 games. Is he going to keep that up? Keenan Allen is back after exiting week 5 with injuries. Guys, what is behind these numbers?
Yeah, well, I'll say the reason why I gave Justin Jackson, he was one of my answers for that earlier question that came in, is the defense, is the Jags defense that they're playing against. It's horrible. So I think he's just going to have a really big game. Kelly, I don't know why people thought Kelly, a few weeks ago, why Kelly was going to be the lead back for the Chargers, because he just hasn't done much, and Jackson is far superior, and he's shown it, so he's getting more volume. I think he's going to have a really good game.
I agree on him having a good game.
And of course, our favorite French quarterback, Justin Herbert, is I think his volume, his connection with Keenan Allen. Man, it's amazing to watch them. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Allen didn't get 10 catches for 150 yards this week.
Oh yeah, no, and Keenan. I mean, I remember when Keenan Allen first came into the league. He was force-fed by Phillip Rivers, and he would have so many games with 10+ targets. It feels like we're back to those days, and Keenan Allen is really one of the great route runners. He's underrated. He's big, fast. He's just never getting the credit that he deserves. I also think that he was handcuffed to Phillip Rivers and the Phillip Rivers foibles, and I really hope just that Justin Herbert turns it around, because I think Keenan Allen should have a more exciting and well-known career. People in California know Keenan Allen. I am looking at the rankings, and for quarterback Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert is the 9th consensus ranked cornerback for the week. So if you have him, you are probably playing him, and I would say play him with confidence, especially because it's at home.
Yeah.
How about the running back situation for the Chargers?
Well, I mean, that's what I said about Justin Jackson. I just think he's a good start.
I meant the Jaguars. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Robinson has had a couple of bad games over the last few weeks. It's hard to trust the Jags these days. I mean, at the beginning of the season, what was everyone saying? Yeah, get Minshew, get all the wide receivers.
Go. Yeah.
They're always going to be passing from behind, and it's still the case, but you never know who's really going to go off. He spreads it around, so which wide receiver is really going to get it? Really healthy. Again, Robinson coming out of the backfield, he was getting a number of points. I think he's probably still someone that you start today, again, depending on how strong your RB bench is, just because he is their running back. He gets the volume. It's not a committee, for the Jags. So I think you're starting him unless you really do have a deep bench.
James Robinson is the 9th consensus ranked running back for the week, but the matchup again is not ideal for him. It's a tough matchup, but he is the consensus 9th ranked running back. So So yeah, you're starting him up. If according to our experts, but according to Darren, you might want to be putting someone else in ahead of him. Who would you play ahead of him? Would you play Giovanni Bernard ahead of him?
Good question.
I know.
Probably not. That's close. Probably not.
Oh, you think it's close? Okay.
I think Bernard is it's hard not to play him just because Mixon's out, but still go back to what's Cincinnati's problem. One of their problems, their offensive line is horrible. It's hard to get into a rhythm if your quarterback's always being pressured and sacked.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like if you're going to play any of the Jaguars' offensive players, it's a boom or bust call, right? So you're talking like if you're in a flex position and you want your opponent is looking great and you really want to swing for the fences, you might want to grab a Jaguar, Keenan Cole, or someone from the receiving core. Like Darren was saying, there's always a chance that Gardner Minshew kind of does this crazy thing where he's running around, juking defenders, and just playing great. Sometimes it looks great. Sometimes it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. But so in terms of like when we're talking about matchups like this, and we're looking at these circumstances. Playing any Jaguars is I feel like a risk. Even though James Robinson is ranked 9th consensus, I still think that's, it's a possible that he's going to be the 5th ranked running back of the week, or he's going to be the 30th ranked. I'm more on this side of him tanking this week.
Well, and they got their ass handed to them by the Lions.
Jesus, yes. No, nothing good comes from that. I mean, and then who's the backup for Minshew? It's God, I remember I read that this morning. It's just so anyways, we are gonna move on. I love when I bring up stuff I don't know the answers. All right, so again, Jaguars at Chargers, low scoring game. Play all your Chargers. Wince as you play your Jaguars.
All right, we got 17 minutes before kickoff.
All right, 2 more games to get through. Seahawks at Cardinals. The over-under is 49.5 points. The Jaguars are bottom 10th in both pass and run defense. I don't know where that... No. Well, the Cardinals.
Seahawks versus Cardinals, yeah.
Oh, no! That is... Let's go.
Let's just give it.
Dumb! Right, just going into it, yeah.
I'll carry you right through this. All you need to know about this matchup
Thank you.
is my 2 studs. All right?
Tell me.
DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson are going to run wild over you, brother. Them 2 alone might put down the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Like a feral animal with rabies. Yeah, just shoot me, put me down.
Really?
No, he might be the new Megatron. Like, people are comparing him to the new Calvin Johnson, which is crazy to think that we have a guy on such a well constructed team being so dominant, where typically we have these like huge amazing blowout receivers, but they're on teams that are like, that's all they have, right? Like, think about the Lions with Calvin Johnson. Think about Atlanta with Julio Jones. So many times when you have one of these amazing receivers, somehow the rest of the team, they maybe just can't afford it, or they're not constructing the team around it properly. Usually they have shitty defenses. But yeah, we're talking about the Seahawks with the best quarterback in the league right now. I'm saying it. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the league right now, throwing to a phenom with DK Metcalf. That pairing is golden. I'm now scared. I did publicly say I'm gonna win this week. I guaranteed a victory publicly.
Yeah,
but
grab that belt. Grab that belt, homie.
Yeah, put it on. Put it on.
Yeah, there we go.
You ain't got it, dog.
That's the I Heart Russell Wilson belt.
Ryan, I have a question. Do you smell what the Mox is cooking?
Do I smell it? I smell the taint of what he's cooking. No, I'm bringing you down, buddy. We'll get into it. We got to hurry up. All right, let's get to the next matchup, and then we'll start wrapping up our day. All right, so the last matchup is Monday night. Bears at Rams. The over-under is 45 points. Woo! Woo, Snorefest. Rams and Bears are 5th and 7th best defenses in the league. Nick Foles is proving out to be Mr. Reliable. Hey, you want to bench your quarterback? Nick Foles will come in and give you, he'll be every day. Like, hey, look at that. All right, Bears defense has.
Nick Foles has to prove his worth and earn the starting position, pretty much. He's like, I won a damn Super Bowl. Yeah, we'll sit you on the bench and we'll get you in there.
I'm a huge Nick Foles fan. He's my favorite Eagles quarterback of all time because he did bring us a Super Bowl. I'm still a little salty we let him walk, but I'm always a fan, and it was great seeing him beat Brady. I expect him to continue to do good things.
Nice.
I think Nick Foles is silly, and I think like his numbers are silly, and he just takes risk after risk after risk, and he's one of the luckiest guys. I think he lucked into a Super Bowl. He threw into double coverage like just insanely, but let's.
He outdueled Brady in Brady's best performance of his career, and we're just going to chalk that up to luck. Okay.
All right. And there I go with my. I will try and not make my graphics late at night anymore. They are all kind of wrong. All right, so yeah, Bears at Rams. Oh boy, I think we did it, guys. We went through all the games. We've helped out the populace. Hope you guys have some fun. Now we're going to do some special things that we have waiting for you. Again, we are the Way of the Fantasy League. My brother Dan and I, we are the Way of the Leaf. We typically are doing Wheel of Time based content, but we love fantasy football and we've started to do this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. We have a Mustache Hall of Fame. Let's get into it real fast. Our first entry was Giovanni Bernard. Second entry is Gardner Minshew. Third entry is this man. I don't remember his name. Again, I did this late at night, but he is amazing. Look at that. Look at the eyes. I think, what is he saying to you, Brother Dan?
His name is Butt Dickus. I mean, Dick.
Yes.
Butt Disc. Butt Dickus. His eyes are saying, you may be saying no, but you certainly mean I'm going to tackle you hard.
Oh, he is a stunning man. All right, so let's get into these are the awards for our Fantasy League's performance last week. So these are Wheel of Time based awards. We're going to quickly go through them. This is the Green Man Hug Award for the most embarrassing week. And that goes to Sakarandriod for losing by 57 points, which is 37 points less than projected. This is the Unpaid Toe Award because shit ain't going right. Goes to the Twatcast Tom. He's on a 3-game losing streak, not faring well. All right. This is the Great Captains Award for the team with the highest weekly points, and that goes to Dean Moxley. Of course, he has 136 points, and that's the most scored by anybody. And that's probably the lowest. That's probably the lowest total points you've scored all year. All right, next is the Hidden Angreal Award for the team with the players that far exceeded the expectations, right? So they had an Angreal hidden in their pocket. That goes to What Up Stone Dog. He scored 38.39 points over projections.
But still lost.
Got to field your team, buddy. All right, the Goblin Award for the team with the worst record. That goes to Malkier Talks, who has publicly said he's giving up. This is all too hard for him. He promises to.
Man, I love Rob. I'm glad that he tried. His work schedule has gotten kind of in the way and stuff. So I give him. A break.
Hey, he fields a team though. He fields a team. So he has only 532 total points, and that is the lowest. All right, the Bella Award goes to the team with the toughest opponent so far, and that is Dean Moxley. All right, the man is leading the league, has had the toughest road, and the most points scored against him, and he's still dominating the league again with the Russell DK combo. Now, this is the Dark Friend of Jason Award for the team who didn't set their lineup in time. This Dark Friend of Jason, this might just turn into the Dark Friend Award. If you're on week 4.
It might be the Stone Dog. The one up.
Yeah, it's going to become the Memorial What Up Stone Dog Award for not fielding your team. All right, clearly the taint is doing mass damage on our friend. And now, this is the Eggwins Bath Award for the team with the easiest path, and that goes to Headski Shadow Pals. He's only had 532 points against him, and that's the lowest. The league average is 608 points, so Headski Shadow Pals, you should be doing much better. No one is even trying hard against you. All right, move right along. We are all together going to answer these questions. Dean, we are taking our poll this week together.
All right.
Number 1, who has more total yards? And again, these are up on our Twitter. We have just a couple minutes left to get to our Twitter polls. Yes, our first question is what?
Before you jump into that, breaking news, because we talked about this earlier for the Cleveland Bengals game. We were talking about how Austin Hooper, Cleveland's tight end, who's been getting some volume, is out today, and that David Njoku could see an increased volume. But the breaking news is that their other tight end, Harrison Bryant, is expected to start over Njoku. So if anyone was actually out there looking at the waiver wires to look at that tight end situation, Harrison Bryant is looking like the starter this week for the Browns, not Njoku.
Okay, guys, everyone, you have 7 minutes left. I think Dean just ran off to go change that. That's amazing. I think we lost Dean because he's like, oh my God. Yes, 7 minutes left. Harrison Bryant has won the starting job over David Njoku for the Cleveland Browns. And I was right. I couldn't remember Austin Hooper's name, but yeah, Austin Hooper is also a good tight end. He is out. We have Aaron Jones out. Everyone, it's all coming to a head. We are doing our Twitter poll questions. And I'm going to go into Twitter and see what our responses have been. Oh, we got some responses. Great. All right, so our first question is, who will have more total yards, Ronald Jones or DeAndre Swift? All right, what say you guys? Hurry up.
I'm going Ronald Jones.
All right, we have DeAndre Swift, Ronald Jones. Dan?
I'm a homer, so I'm going with Swift.
All right. Now, I'm going with DeAndre Swift, and the Twitter consensus with 6 votes total, Ronald Jones wins. All right, so the next question. Who will have more passing touchdowns, Matt Ryan or Deshaun Watson?
Grandpa Ice.
Yeah. Well, I have to disagree. I'm a homer. I'm hoping Matt Ryan breaks his thumb in the first play. And I am also playing Deshaun Watson. So let's go, baby.
All right. Dean?
I'm going to go with Old Man Ice. I can't get on the Deshaun Watson train. He hasn't showed it to me.
All right, I'm going with Deshaun Watson, and Twitter says 100% Deshaun Watson over Matt Ryan. All right, the next question is, who will have more fumbles this week, Daniel Jones or Gardner Minshew?
So I don't think Daniel Jones had a fumble on Thursday night's game, did he?
I don't think so either. No,
I don't think he did. That's rare.
So Gardner Minshew.
I agree. If anyone's going to win, it's Minshew.
All right.
Guess we have to
go.
So
who's going to trip on the 10-yard line when it's wide open in front of him, though? Is that a...
Boom.
All right.
All right, we just jumped that shark officially.
What was the poll result for 3?
Oh, it was 100% Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
100% Gardner Minshew with 2 votes.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing. Yeah, no. Look at this. Our first Twitter poll ever. This is what resounding success. Oh, this one has 10 votes. Check this out.
Shit.
All right, over under Chase Claypool with 4.98 receptions.
Over.
I think I'll have at least 4.99.
Dean?
I'll go over. He went nuclear 2 weeks ago. Why not?
All right, I'm going under because of Deontay Johnson's return. I think Deontay Johnson is a revelation, and people need to keep an eye out for him. Twitter has a 80% is over with 10 votes. So 8 votes over, 2 votes under. This is great, man. This is fun. Yeah. And last one is which defense will have more sacks this week? The Steelers or the Buccaneers? Dan, brother Dan.
I'll go ahead and go with the Iron Curtain, baby. I'm going to say the Steelers.
Darren?
You already know my answer. Steelers.
All right, Steelers. Yep.
Steelers.
Steelers. I'm going Buccaneers. And Twitter agrees with me. 75% votes goes to the Buccaneers. That's great, guys. We will tally those points up. We will keep a running tally. Whoever is joining us for that week can participate. Like Dean, hope you keep coming back. This is super fun. And where are we at with the time? We have 3 minutes left.
Right.
We have some. All right, we got some last minute questions. Burrow or Breeze? Burrow.
Breeze.
Burrow for me.
I'll say Burrow. Burrow's, at least yardage wise, she's getting over 300 again.
Yeah, I think Burrow's going to make it happen today.
All right, so yeah, 3 Burrows, 1 Breeze. Remember, if you're looking at Breeze, Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas is out.
Yeah.
Both of those players are out. And my bold prediction is that this is going to be a Taysom Hill game. We're going to have 1 rushing touchdown and 1 passing touchdown by Taysom Hill.
Hey, bold call. Kamara's going to throw a touchdown to Hill.
Whoa!
What?
That is a bold call. A little flea flicker action?
All right, 2 more minutes, guys. We'll take your lineup questions. We're having a great time.
Hey, Dan,
We hope you have a great time this week. We hope you win. But if you lose, we hope you lose with valor, with honor, lose gracefully, talk shit, cry in your pillow. Dean, good luck. I still believe I'm going to beat you this week, even though you are dominating the league. I am in a strong third. I'm feeling good. Oh,
Dean, your performance has been admirable, and I hope you get your ass kicked. Just because I want some. I like mixing up the snow globe of a league.
Not gonna happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, you've been great, man. Oh, he's doing the phantom choke.
Phantom
choke.
All right, we got less than a minute left before game time. Everyone, good luck. This has been the Way of the Fantasy League. Brother Dan and I, we are the Way of the Leaf. Please like and subscribe our channel. We are going to continue bringing you advice shows every Sunday morning. Dean, thank you for joining. Do you have anything to say to our friends?
Nope.
All right, Dean is antisocial. Darren, what do you have to say to our friends watching?
Go team.
Go team, yes.
Oh, yeah. For those who come to hang out, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.
Ah, look at man. No, we got manners here, man. Bringing it up to the next level. All right.
I'm gonna go manners right now. Ryan, you did a fucking kick-ass job with this show. There were so many graphics, so many stats and stuff. I couldn't be more proud. This was fun.
All right, we got to be well. Thanks, James Bedard. I know that man. You are a great man, James. Yeah. James is the best golfer I've ever seen in real life. That man, the best golfer ever.
And my son Riley just texted me saying, "Thank goodness you chose Steelers D over the Bucks D in that poll. I would have been low-key upset."
Nice, ha. All right, later, Jake D. That was so much fun. Good luck to you. Also, let us know how you did. All right, James. You too. I'm not a good golfer. What are you talking about? I'm the worst golfer in the world. What are you talking about? Maybe if I would stop doing like illicit drugs all over the golf course, I would play better, but I refuse.
All right, guys, I hope your team all wins. Go team. And thanks for watching and listening. And I hope your fantasy team rules. Come on.
All right, and again,
for you, Dean.
All right, yes, again, our Twitter handle is Way League. WAYLEAGUE. Way League. At Way League. Because we are the way of the fantasy league. All right. Bye, guys.
Go Lions.
Peace out.